Park police are looking for the shooter that left one person injured inside a Brooklyn Park bowling alley. Reporter Sonia Goins has the story.
The shooting happened here at Bolero Bowling Sunday around midnight. According to Brooklyn Park police, two groups were fighting inside when things quickly escalated.
When officers got there, they found a very chaotic scene. There was people inside in large groups and then outside. So there was a large altercation that happened inside. It started spilling outside.
Brooklyn Park police say the shooting could have been much worse. The business was packed with people who were bowling or playing billiards when the incident happened.
By the time officers got there, there was a large number of people fighting.
Inspector Elliot Foss says someone pulled out a gun and fired a shot, hitting a man in the leg.
When the suspect pulled the gun out, the victim recognized that and tried to stop the suspect from shooting. And unfortunately, in doing that, the victim himself got shot.
Police say they haven't had much trouble at this location, mostly because the business has security guards and other precautions.
They do have metal detectors. Somehow a gun got past it.
Officials say the shooter ran away before police arrived on the scene. Police are checking surveillance video to see if they can identify the person who pulled the trigger.
It's going to take a little time for us to get a look at that and work through it, but no one's been arrested at this point.
In Brooklyn Park, Sonia Goins, CCX News.
On Monday, Verizon cell phone customers were unable to dial 911 in parts of Hennepin County, impacting Brooklyn Center, Minneapolis, and other cities. The Brooklyn Center Police Department advised people of the outage early Monday morning. The issue lasted for about 8 hours. During the service disruption, customers were told to call a non-emergency line. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz outlined his plan for spending on public safety Monday. The Walz plan calls for $300 million in aid to local governments. The governor's news follows a bill authored by Representative Cedric Frazier of New Hope. His bill would provide $280 million over the coming year to fund crime prevention programs. Some of that money would help local law enforcement establish mental health crisis response teams. The bill is on its way to the House Ways and Means Committee. Paid sick time for all employees might be coming soon to Minnesota. The legislature is working on a bill that would require businesses to pay workers for short-term absences, a mandate that has some small business owners worried. Jason Malillo has a story.
Most of us are entrepreneurial minded, and we just don't like the state coming in and telling us, you have to do this, you have to do that.
Joe Paquette owns 2 child care centers in the northwest suburbs and employs about 70 people. He offers paid time off to his workers after they've been on the job for 6 months.
I want it to be an earned benefit. It's my way of saying, thank you, great job.
But if the Earned Sick and Safe Time bill passes, all workers in Minnesota will start accruing paid sick time after being on the job for 80 hours. Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan spoke on the issue while visiting a business in Plymouth last week.
No one should have to choose between going to work sick or losing their job.
If the state mandates paid sick time, Paquette says it will likely be a financial hit for small business owners, especially if some employees abuse that privilege.
They're going to say, I'm sick, or I don't feel well, or I need some type of mental health day. You know, all the things that the bill allows for, they'll find something to say, and I can't question it, and I can't ask for any proof of it. I have to just basically pay it out.
Paquette stresses he doesn't think most workers would abuse the system, and simply wants employers and employees to work together on benefits packages. But officials advocating for this bill don't want to take any chances.
Establishing paid family and medical leave and earned sick and safe time helps families and our workplaces prepare.
It's important to note paid sick time is separate from paid family and medical leave, which would be for longer term leave like caring for a newborn baby, the cost of which would likely be shared by employee and employer. Reporting in Osseo, Jason Malillo, CCX News.
A Golden Valley family has transformed their backyard into a money-making oasis. As Delane Cleveland reports in this week's edition of Business Matters, the therapeutic benefits of saunas are gaining steam across Minnesota.
We've got lounging area, fire pit.
In the backyard of Craig Ringsven's Golden Valley home,
Put it on a splitter.
he's constructed an outdoor oasis of sorts.
I can't even tell you how many hours total have been put into it, but probably well over 1,000.
Craig started this home improvement project during the COVID shutdown of 2020. He began with a sauna, followed it up with a plunge pond,
We don't heat the water.
and then it just started to grow.
We've thought long and hard about coming up with one word to describe the whole area, and oasis was the best we've come up with.
A year and a half ago, some friends convinced him to turn this oasis into a business. Today, it's called the Nordic Nook, a getaway for anyone who wants to explore the therapeutic benefits of a sauna in the middle of a Minnesota winter.
We've got our wall of fame.
So far, it's had well over 1,000 bookings.
I don't even believe it when I hear it. I think we originally thought, hey, if we could get a couple bookings a week, you know, and a little extra fun money, a little fun side hustle.
The Nordic Nook is just one of many sauna-related businesses to pop up across the state in recent years.
So here we have the yurt.
Craig gave us a quick tour to help explain the appeal.
So inside here,
The insulated tent has a wood-burning stove along with several other amenities where guests can relax. Outside of the yurt, there's a plunge pond where the water is kept around 39 degrees. He says a dip in the cold water helps with muscle soreness.
we like to make your cold plunge as comfortable as possible. So down here we've got heat mats.
And of course, you have the sauna, which is the big draw for the 30 bookings they get per week. Now, I am way overdressed to be in here, but if you're looking to escape the cold, they keep the sauna between 180 and 200 degrees.
Hot cold therapy is really catching on right now. There's lots of good research out there to show the health benefits, and it gets nice and steamy for you.
It's something that's turned into a nice side business for this physical therapist.
I can't really even believe it.
In Golden Valley, Delane Cleveland, CCX News.
The top-ranked Hopkins girls basketball team edged Wayzata 57-50 last week in the closest game of the season yet for the unbeaten Royals. Hopkins got its high-scoring offense back on track in their next game.
Longtime Hopkins coach Brian Cosgrove back at the Royals Activity Center for the first time as the Minnetonka head coach. It's the Royals, though, playing like the best team in the state right from the start of this game. Taylor Woodson hitting the jumper to put the Royals ahead 14-8. Aaliyah Crump is one of the best young players in the state. The Minnetonka sophomore hits the step-back jumper. She scores 19 points on the night to lead the Skippers. Hopkins in transition here. Kelly Boyle ahead to Liv McGill for the layup. She scores 11 points in the game, one of 5 Royals players to score in double figures. Final possession of the first half for Hopkins. Boyle drains a three-pointer from the corner. She makes 4 threes in the game. Hopkins leads 54-33 at halftime. Second half, and Nunu Aguera finds Woodson alone underneath the basket for an easy 2. Micaiah Copeland had a big game for the Royals. She goes right to the rim and scores 2 of her team-high 16 points. The Hopkins lead is 25. London Harris contributes 11 points off the bench as Hopkins rolls to its 14th straight win of the season. 86-60 is the final.
We just work hard and practice every day. We prepare for this type of stuff. We prepare for these type of games. We just have to stay together as a team, play as a unit.
Like the Hopkins girls, the Park Center boys basketball team has dominated the competition this season. The top-ranked Pirates rolled over another opponent Friday. Jason Malillo has the highlights.
It's a Northwest Suburban Conference get-together in boys basketball, Armstrong hosting Park Center. Armstrong's Owen Scram hits the first basket of the game, a 3 for the Falcons. But the top-ranked Pirates can score in waves. 6'8" Chang Ring finishes underneath. Then Ring gets the block, triggering a fast break for PC, and Joe Burgess throws down the dunk. CJ O'Hara strokes the jump shot. It's a 15-0 run for Park Center. O'Hara passes ahead to Cass Chavis, and he's money for the hoop and foul for the Pirates. They're up 48-23 at halftime. Armstrong's Seth Newburn drives and finishes with the left hand early in the second half. Then Drew Kemple floats a nice pass to Newburn, and he finishes again for the Falcons. J.J. Ware drives baseline and scores on the reverse layup for Park Center. Jackson Falcus penetrates and dishes to Caden Cook for the hoop, and the Pirates roll to a 93-54 victory. They're 11-0. Jason Malillo, CCX Sports.
In boys hockey, 2 local teams were aiming to reach the 500 mark as they met up in a good battle Saturday. Jay Wilcox reports.
Totino-Grace hosting Armstrong Cooper in a Saturday afternoon boys hockey matchup. Jamison Essen up the right side for the Wings, and he rips a slap shot home for a 1-0 Armstrong Cooper lead just over 2 minutes in. After the Wings go up 2-0, the Eagles get one here as Clayton Durr's pass is deflected in by Thomas Quast with just 3 seconds left in the first period. It's 2-1 after one. Trailing 3-1, Shane Dean goes to the net for Grace, and Sam Johnson follows up to bury the loose puck. They later tie it up, and it's a 3-3 game heading to the third. An AC giveaway costs them as Colton Horak tucks it home on the breakaway, and Totino-Grace leads for the first time at 4-3. But with just over 3 minutes left, the Wings tie it. Essen with the shot, and Tanner Rausch buries the rebound. They go to overtime, tied at 4. In OT, Quast shot from the point hits a Wings player and caroms past Henry Dimich. That's the game winner as Totino-Grace rallies for a 5-4 win. Jay Wilcox, CCX Sports.
Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.